Hi, Nick Neal with New American Funding and Nick on Rates for Friday the 25th. I hope you are ready for a nice weekend. Looks like it's going to be sunny. We've had a pretty good week with treasuries and bonds. There hasn't been a whole lot of going on with news. Most of the news was kind of bond friendly or offsetting itself. PMI manufacturing and PMI servicing both came in opposite and kind of offset each other. Durable goods were a little bit high for the week, but that really didn't have an effect on bonds. Existing home sales got hammered, but that's not a real big factor other than for us in the mortgage business and real estate. But the best thing that really stabilized things and started us to continue and maintain this downward trend and become a little bit more stable is talk about tariffs. So we know that Japan and China had dumped treasuries and really had the wild, crazy effect on the market that we saw here a couple weeks ago. And there have been talks and stuff going on now with China where things are starting to get a little more stabilized. And so that's not quite as fearful. Some things with Powell have settled a little bit. And so it's just the political speak in the news has been a little bit more bond friendly. So that's really what's kind of caused us to follow the technical factors and stabilize a little bit, which is really good. Because they're all really strong right now. We're below and in a positive place with Fibonacci. This green line right here is a really stiff one, and it's hard for us to break through. It's also hard for us to break below, and once we've broken below it, we want to stay below it, and are doing pretty well with that the last couple of days. And we're also staying below this trend line, and again, we still have this downward trend line that was a little bit steeper before we had this big run up and the crazy issues with the tariffs. But that has stabilized, and we actually look like we're starting to tear down. And so if we can get a little bit more forward and get a little more points of reference, we should see this line on rates trending down even more. That's my thought and my goal. Next week, we've got a big news week coming out. Consumer confidence, jobs, JOLTS jobless openings, or JOLTS jobs openings, GDP, ADP employment numbers, those are important. GDP is going to be important as well. And new farm payrolls are coming out, and ISM manufacturing. So there's a lot going on next week that hopefully will be positive for bonds, and we will see continued movement in this direction. But everything's looking really good as far as technical factors and continuing this downward trend. It's just not as quick and as hopeful as we'd like to see. So with all that positive news, we're giving the week a happy Bassie for my grandson. He was happy with the week. Remember last week he ran into the wall when we hit tariffs and stuff. So looking good for this week, and I hope you have a good weekend. Hey, reach out if you want to talk about marketing. I've got an awesome team where we're doing a really good job for clients with loans and stuff, closing on time. And I love to work co-marketing with agents if you'd like to talk about that. Call me, text me, fax me, and have a great week.